Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Today we are going through my bookshelves. We are doing an unhaul and a reorganise because there is currently a pile of books on the floor that need to be put away and there's not really any space on these shelves. So normally I do a yearly unhaul at the end of the year. We're doing it slightly early this year, okay, because I've come up with an idea. We have my mainly fantasy, dark romance and miscellaneous bookshelf of read books. And then we have my mainly romance, in fact I think it is all romance, book of read shelves. Over here, I can't film in this room, it's too tiny for me to get good angles for anything. This bookshelf is my TBR and it's, I mean to be fair, it's 30% of the books that I own technically, but there is a lot of books I haven't read. So there's a couple of books I have read that I want to get rid of. I'm going to look through them as well. There's also a few books that I haven't read yet that I just think realistically I'm probably not going to read. So I want to get rid of those. I also have decided towards the end of this year, a lot of next year, I'm going to do like a read it or unhaul it series. So what that basically means is I'm going to decide in that video whether like if I read it and enjoy it and therefore keep it, or if I'm going to unhaul it if I try to read it and I'm just not interested. So I also want to kind of put a section of books aside where I'm really not sure and they're going to go in the read it or unhaul it videos. So first of all, let's just go through the books that I want to unhaul. I think on the fantasy shelf there's only one book that I want to get rid of, and that is What Lies Beyond the Veil by Harper L. Woods. I read this, was it 2023? Was it last year? I don't know. There's at least 3 or 4 in the series. It was a weird one. I don't want to continue the series. It wasn't good. The twist at the end just, like, it was mad. It blew my mind because of how much I hated it. So this one, I held onto it in my last unhaul because I thought maybe I'll want to read the rest of the series. I have now decided that I don't. So this is the first book to go. We're going to start with the top shelf, which currently you can't see. So I'm gonna I wouldn't advise this. This chair is on wheels and it spins, but I haven't got a step ladder. So we're just having to do what we can. Okay. I also have this weird thing where I can't get up. So when me and my dad discovered this, when oh, it moved. Okay, it's all good, it's all good. When I was painting the living room, my dad had this, because I've got really high ceilings, and I don't like being up high in general. This isn't that high, I just don't like it, I feel unsteady. I can't just step onto a ladder, and like even just a little step ladder, I can't step onto it unless I'm at least touching something. It's really weird. Anyway, let me just maneuver myself. I've also realised I've not put this in the best place at all. We've got 2 Tessa Baileys, first of all, that I want to get rid of. We have Window Shopping and Wreck the Halls. I need to keep a hand on something because this chair is wanting to spin. Yeah, they're like Christmassy books, and I didn't love them. I'm never going to reread them. So I am going to get rid to save space on my shelves. I am going to be keeping Mr. Fix-It-Upper and The Christmas Fix by Lucy Score. If I want a Christmassy book, The Christmas Fix is perfect because it's Christmassy, but not just about Christmas, there's a whole lot more going on. These shelves are not secured to the wall. I'm just going to say that now as well. I'm very uncomfortable. I need to move this chair because I can't see any of those books, and that's the whole point of this. There's probably a few on here in this bit that I'm going to get rid of, because I don't see myself wanting to read these anytime, like ever again, pretty much. So the problem is it's the ones at the bottom. Okay, I'm keeping these for because I might want to reread them at some point, and I enjoyed them. Kindling by Bonnie Woods I'm mostly keeping for the autumnal vibes. It was a cute romance for what it was, and it just did give a really good autumnal vibe. I'm also going to keep This Is How You Lose the Time War. I didn't know how to rate it. I want to try it again at some point and reread it and see if I take anything differently from it. I don't know. I just want to give it another go. Maybe when I've read some more intellectual stuff and I could take more from it. I don't know. And then these ones, I'm just never going to reread these, all 4 of these. So I am so uncomfortable, I can't wait to get down. You have no idea. The things I do for content, I'd be doing this anyway to be fair. But this, I'm just wildly uncomfortable. Okay. I think I have a couple books I want to put up here as well actually. So I'm going to do that before I move the chair out of the way. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. So I'm gonna put It Ends With Us and It Starts With Us. Oh, what fell? What just fell? Oh, it was Magnolia Pass down the bottom. I nearly died. I jumped out of my skin there. I'm gonna put, I've got the special edition of It Ends With Us and the regular edition of It Starts With Us. I'm gonna put these up here as well. Just because, well, listen, I have this special edition of It Ends With Us, it's really pretty, okay? And I did enjoy the books for what they were. So I do want to keep them. Will I reread them? I don't know. But I want to keep them and that's the main thing. It's my library, it's my choice. Okay, I'm getting down now. I don't like it up here. Okay, so the books that we're getting rid of off that shelf, obviously, like I said, the 2 Tessa Bailey Christmas books. We're also getting rid of Love Story by Lindsay Kelk. Yeah, this was fine. I did enjoy it at the time. I think it was a 3 stars. I just don't see myself ever reading this again. It is pretty, but I just, yeah, as it stands, I don't think I'm going to read this again. Or like recommend it for anything in particular, so yeah. It was the first 2, like the first Magnolia and Daisy books that fell down. They are so dramatic. Anyway, also getting rid of Off Track by Esha Patel again. I don't really see myself reading this again. It was fine, but I don't see myself reading it again. The other 4 are books I read a while ago. This one is the book that kind of got me back into reading. I read it in January 2023. 13 Weddings by Paige Toon. It was quite nice. I did enjoy the book. I don't think I'm going to reread it again because I don't think it's the kind of romance, it's a very specific type of romance book and I don't think it's the kind of romance book that I'm really that interested in or will read again. But it was good. It was fine. I just don't think I'll read it again and I don't think about it that often. Also by Lindsay Kelk. I read this years ago, did not know it was Lindsay Kelk when I read Love Story. We were on a break. I read this years and years and years ago, randomly. I've read on and off over the years. I read a lot as a teenager, then read on and off a little bit in my early 20s, and then got into fan fiction, and then in 2023 got into reading physical books again. Yeah, I can't really remember much about what this is about. This couple takes a break, and I don't know what happens to her. I think, does he end up with someone else and then they get back, which I can't remember. I'm not reading this again. And again, these 2 I read so long ago. We've got Don't You Forget About Me by Alexandra Potter and Vivian's Heavenly Ice Cream Shop by Abby Clements. This one is very summery. She runs an ice cream shop in summer. It's got a really cute cover, don't get me wrong. No idea, never think about it. And Don't You Forget About Me, I think it's kind of magical realism, I think. She makes a wish that he forgets about her so she can start afresh and be with him. I don't know, it's just really unhealthy. Like, if he doesn't like you, he doesn't like you, deal with it. He's not worth your time then. I'm never going to read that again. So, yeah. Okay, obviously I'm keeping everything on the Emily Henry and Laura Nasher shelf. Same for the Anna Huang shelf. And to be honest, I think I'm keeping everything on my sports romance shelf, but this will need to be rearranged a little bit. But we'll sort that once we've gotten rid of everything. Again, small town romance shelf, my Elsie Silvers and things, keeping everything. I think everything else now on this shelf I'm keeping. Let's move on to the TBR shelf. I am not going to be going back on my chair because everything is stacked vertically rather than like this, horizontally. So that'll be easier. Straight off the bat, I knew I was going to get rid of these. We have A Part of Me by Anuska Knight. I got this on the original The Works for £5 deal. That's how cheap it used to be. I don't know what it's about. I'm just never going to read it, okay? I've been keeping a hold of it in case maybe I decide I want to. I'm just not going to. Same for this one. The Mystery of Mercy Close by Marianne Keyes. I've had this for years. I'm just never going to read this book. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's good, even. I'm just never going to read it. I'm never going to reach for it. So someone else might enjoy these more. I will say, anything I unhaul, I ask any of my friends if they want them first, and if they don't, it goes to charity shop. I don't bother with Vinted or selling them on. It sounds like a faff. I can't be bothered. And this way, it's going to charity shop. It's doing good, you know. So that's how I like to say it. I don't think there's anything else on the very top shelf that I want to currently unhaul. Same with this shelf, I think. I have 2 on this shelf I definitely want to unhaul. We've got The Sun and the Void by Gabriela Romero Lacruz and The Hurricane Wars by Thea Guanzon. I have tried to read both of these books. This one I only tried once. The Hurricane ones I think I've maybe tried twice. I don't know. They're just not books I could get into for different reasons. This one I didn't like the writing, and I really didn't like the main FMC. There's 2 FMCs, but there's one that's definitely more main than the other. And then The Hurricane Wars, I could not, again, actually a similar reason with the writing, where too much was happening at once that I couldn't wrap my head around. And yeah, I just wasn't getting on with them, so they're both going. It's a shame too, because this one, the naked hardback, is so pretty. But I love the idea of someone going into their local charity shop and just seeing this special edition. So, especially because if they get it and they like it, the next book's coming out soon, and that also has a similar special edition. So, okay. I think they're the books I want to unhaul. Let's have a look again. So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 books to unhaul, and actually, 1, 2, how many have I read of these? Quite a few actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them are books that I have read, so that's not too bad. We're getting rid of 13 books. That's not too bad. Probably could be better, but it's not too bad. It means I've read books I want to keep, which is a good thing. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take a quick break and charge the camera. But I've decided, like I say, I want to do read it on or unhaul it videos. I'm going to pick out the books where I think I need to just decide if I like this when I read it. Like, it's going to be for those videos of read it or unhaul it. And I'm going to put them all together on one shelf. There's going to be quite a few, I'm not going to lie. But to try and free up some space on this shelf, I just need to put them all together, and we'll just pick at them as we go. And it means that out of the way of my immediate TBR that I know I really want to read and that I'm fairly sure I'm going to enjoy. But I'm going to charge the camera first and we'll come back and do that. I actually found one more book to add to the unhaul pile, and that's Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter, because I just think it's going to be way too YA for me. So I just don't think it's going to be for me, really. So yeah. Off camera, I have actually picked out all the books, which you can't fully see, but I have quite a few piles. I have 4 piles in front of me here, of books where I want to add them to my read it or unhaul it list. So what I'm going to do, they're going to go on the bottom. So we need to take the books off the bottom shelf that's currently left on there. So let's remove them first. So these ones I'm literally just going to put on. I mean, there's more books than what will fit on this shelf. We're just going to make it work. They're just all going to have to fit on however I see fit. So we have a few fantasies. These Valiant Delights by Chloe Gong, because it's YA and there's a chance I'm not going to like it. Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. There's a good chance I'm going to unhaul it, but I will wait to see how I feel about Caraval, because his name is Jax, like Jack with an S. My brother's name is Jack. I don't like reading love interests whose name are Jack. I did not know this though, because on the back I don't think his name is on this. I did not know his name was Jack when I bought this. Yeah. Speaking of which, Caraval by Stephanie Garber. Again, same reason as these Valiant Delights, it's YA. I don't know if I'm gonna like it. Same for The School of Good and Evil. I'm fairly sure this is YA. Love the covers though. There's a good chance I'm not gonna like it, so yeah. Okay, then we have All of Us Villains. I have no idea what this is about. It's apparently a TikTok sensation. I hate that. I've just never been drawn to it. So we're gonna read it or unhaul it. I don't feel so ambivalent to it. I don't know if ambivalent is the right word. That I want to just get rid of it. I would like to give it a try at least. And then Empire of the Vampire by J. Christoph. I think this is a romantasy. Well, I think it's a fantasy with some romance. It's written by a man. And I've heard there's some sexism in this, but I want to give it a go. You never know. I've heard some good reviews. It's just absolutely massive. It's over 700 pages. Then for my regular like general fiction, Cleopatra and Frankenstein. I did try to read this and DNF'd it about 80 pages in. Back in 2023. I do want to give it another go before I decide it's not for me. Same for the Ministry of Time. Just DNF'd this yesterday at 126 pages. I really want to like this. I just think it wasn't for me right now. So it was a soft DNF. We're going to give it another go before we get rid. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow I want to read this. I don't know what's stopping me. So I don't know. We'll see. Boy Parts by Eliza Clark. This is because it's just different to what I usually read. It's a different genre, so I don't know, we'll see about that one. I keep saying we'll see, but you know. Trust by Hernan Diaz. This one is set in America in the 1920s. So setting wise, sounds right up my alley, but again, it's a little bit out of my comfort zone and I'm just never drawn to it. But I would like to give it a go at some point. And then The School for Good and Evil, I bought this in January 2023, and I know that because it was in the Waterstones like January sale. It's got the sprayed edges. Yeah, I don't know, I just never feel drawn to this now, but I still do want to give it a go. Yeah, that was the first pile and we're nearly full, so we'll see. Okay, the YAs. I Loved You in Another Life. It sounds sad, I don't know. It might be too young for me. I'll give it a go. They both die at the end. I know this is sad, but there's a question mark about it being too young for me. I think a lot of people of different ages can enjoy this, but I'm never drawn to it. So that's why it's being added to this. Never Ever Getting Back Together. This is a YA that the guy's been dating two girls, they end up together. But it's YA, so I don't know. But I love the premise. Okay, and then we have The Brothers Hawthorne. I really like the Inheritance games. I just don't know if... It's now got a lot of books set in that world, and I don't know if I want to continue or not. This is going to be the deciding factor when I eventually get around to it. Next we have Tempting Little Thief by Megan Brandy. My friend read this and said it wasn't very good, but I got it cheap from the works. We will find out. I think she wrote... Is it Megan Brandy that wrote See You Swear? Because I could not read that. So there's a good chance this might be going, but we'll give it a go first. Okay, the next two, I've put the first one of the series, just for now. We've got Me Before You. There's actually 3 books. There's Me Before You, After You, and Still Me. I watched the movie, sobbed like a baby. So I do want to eventually read the book, I think. I don't know if I do. And then we've also got P.S. I Love You. I have also got Postscript. It's kind of, if I'm unhauling the first one, I'm going to unhaul the rest. Same for this one actually, Secretly Yours by Tessa Bailey. If I don't like this, I'll unhaul the second one. I just don't know if Tessa Bailey's for me anymore. Speaking of her, I've also got Happenstance by Tessa Bailey. So we'll try them both and we'll see what happens. And then we've got Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover, because it sounds kind of decent. She was in prison. Well, not decent, it just sounds interesting. I don't know. But I know there's controversy about Colleen Hoover, but again, I don't know, it intrigues me, but I don't know. Okay, last pile, we have Bully by Penelope Douglas. I just don't know if this one's gonna quite be for me, but I did really like Pump 57, and I also liked Birthday Girl. Didn't like Credence though, really hated that one, so I don't know. The Rulebook by Sarah Adams, again, I just DNF'd this yesterday, because in the first 7 pages, she says something like she can't say mean things. Mean things. Like the way she said it just sounded like stupid. And then, oh my god, she cried because her boss said something semi-nice about her. And she also called her shoes feet hugs. Bright yellow sneakers. She called them feet hugs. And then later on in the paragraph or something like that, it says something like, in fact, the idea of jumping major hurdles at the start of my career fills my stomach with twinkling stars of delight. She sounds insufferable. Insufferably happy, and I can't. So I'm gonna give it another go. I've heard good things and I liked the cheat sheet, but that made me cringe. But I also could be in a bad mood right now, I don't know. The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. Watched the movie and then have never wanted to pick the book up since, so we'll see. You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hogle. Also didn't net this one because I hated both the main characters, but I want to give it another go because so many people love this book. Glass Houses by Melanie Murphy. I have watched Melanie Murphy. She's a YouTuber, an Irish YouTuber. I've watched her for years. Watched her content, that sounds a bit weird saying watched her. I just don't know if I'm that interested in reading the book, but I also want to support it, so we'll give it a go. Then Right Girl, Wrong Side by Ginny Baird. It's about a wedding. I don't know if I'm that interested. I bought it cheap at the works. Charlie Loving Clichés by Ella Mays. I've just never gone to pick this up. And that's pretty much the only reason it's on here. But it's pink and it's pretty. So we'll see. Then we've got By the Book and Tangled Up in You. I got this fairly recently. Because they go together and it's Christina Lauren. But this is basically a series. I think there's 4, so there's 2 I don't have. There's If the Shoe Fits by Julie Murphy and Kiss the Girl by Zoraida Cordova. They're like an interconnected series by different authors that's kind of like Disney retellings. Again, I've just never reached for them, but we'll see. We'll see if I end up liking them. I might. I've just never reached for them. Or like I never think to reach for them. Then we've got, okay, 3 more. We've got The Book Proposal by K.J. Mikichi. Again, I just never think to, it just doesn't grab me. There's other things I want to read. I don't know, but maybe it might surprise me. I still want to give it a go. Pretty much all of these are, I never think to read them, or they're out of my comfort zone and I still want to give them a go. That's kind of the general vibe. Then we've got Set on You and X's and O's by Amy Lee. I can't remember which way around they go. I think it's this way. I'm gonna have to just put these on the top here. There's one more called The Catch. It's like, I think it's an interconnected standalone series about influencers. Again, they just don't grab me at the minute. So I want to give them a go. If I don't like them or I'm just not into them, I'll unhaul them. So that's... My stomach keeps rumbling, I'm so hungry. That's that shelf. That's very full. I can maybe fit 1 or 2 more books on there, and that is it. Okay, I'm gonna have something to eat because I'm starving. And then we'll get back to sorting out. Now it's the fun time. We're gonna organise. I've just done a haul video that went up. It's going up after this. So the books from the haul can now go on the shelves and we can do some rejigging, fingers crossed anyway. Okay, the camera is slightly recharged. I am slightly recharged because I ate. So, yeah, we're gonna try, this shelf is now like mostly clear partly because I've put Magnolia 1 and Daisy 1 back on the TBR because I do want to start from scratch when I go back to reading that series. So I've took them from the bottom here, and obviously my haul books, normally my haul stuff goes there. But I think we're gonna have to like take that away from being the to be hauled shelf. I think we're gonna have to actually utilize it now. So we need to figure out this shelf. This one is pretty much fine. 1 book came off it, but there's nothing that's gonna fit in there that fits the toxic / dark romance vibe. I think we're just gonna work from the bottom upwards, quite frankly. So this was like a general romance shelf. None of these books are generally romance. So I think this is my little Christina Lauren section, but there's only 4 books now and I feel like it's a little bit too low. We'll work with it, we'll see how it goes. Okay, I think we'll go... Oh, actually, I could put An Education in Malice here because it's like a dark academia and it's physically dark. So that works. I think we'll just go with like the general like fiction-y ones. So we'll go with Yellowface, Mad Bee Rising and My Dark Vanessa. I'm not going to read My Dark Vanessa until I've read Lolita, because I've heard My Dark Vanessa is like in conversation with Lolita, so you need to read them, Lolita and then My Dark Vanessa. Anyway, then I'm going to put my mythology retellings. And then I'm going to put my 2 mysteries. Oh, they fit in lovely. Okay, 2 nice full shelves there. This one is already full. And then this one is fine also, to be honest. It's like my sports, romance, like sports, and then like small town. Okay. Okay, so we've got my 2 fantasy shelves here. I'm gonna change them around a little bit. This one is going to be for the series that I'm in the middle of, where I've read the first one or the first couple or whatever, and I need to continue. So these 2 I haven't started yet. Put them there. Nearly breaking the printer. Okay. This one. I also haven't started all these. This one, I'm gonna take this off. I'm about to do it in a reading vlog, so I'm just gonna take this off the shelf because it's gonna be read in a couple of days anyway. So. Okay. I also have stickers I need to take off some books, and sometimes the Waterstones ones really don't come off very easily. Like the buy one get one half price ones usually do, but this one's saying exclusive edition, not coming off all that easily. Okay, I might have to leave these ones on here, I'm not gonna lie, we'll see. You go there. You I'm not in the middle of technically, but I think it relates to this series, so I'm going to leave that there, to be honest. When I'm looking at, it's only this one like that I'm in the middle of, so I can probably still keep these here. And then I have a couple of hardbacks. Ooh, is this going to fit? Yeah, if we just really squish it, just fits. But I'm going to go back to reading this series when I finish the reading vlog I'm about to start, so it's not too bad. Okay, now we just have a big old gap up there, so I feel like I may as well put my translated fiction up there, just for now. Okay, that's actually 8 for the TBR ones, so then, yeah, that was obviously going to happen. So I still have a tiny bit of space on the TBR shelf now. That's exciting, kind of. It's, yeah. We've got a lot of very full shelves though. I do still need to put this one on the TBR shelf. And it's a dark romance. She can just go there. Yeah, okay. We've got a nice easy one because Quicksilver is just gonna go next to Quicksilver. Like so. Right, this is where it's gonna get difficult because I don't know how to fit the Windy City series on. So this is my sports romance shelf. The problem is, it's hockey, 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 not hockey, hockey, not hockey, hockey technically. So do I keep it as a hockey romance shelf, and because this series has other sports in it, put this on a separate shelf? Or do I take Collide and Spiral off and stack these on top of each other? That's the options, and I don't know what I want to do. Because also, I mean, there's going to be other sports romances I read at some point, surely. So the shelf is full. If we leave it as just hockey, we have room for other hockey. Because we still have the Briar U series. I think I need to put the other sports romances, like have this just be hockey. That's what I'm thinking. And I've still got room for Daydream when that comes in November. The other problem is, I've got my Fairy Loot Chestnut Springs. I think I'm going to have to take BK Burson off, but even that's not going to be enough. I think I need to take BK Burson and Lucy Score off. Okay, I'm going to move this down. So at least my small towns can still kind of be together. Oh, I tell you what, I'm going to do these ones. Spines out. Why not? I can mix and match, play around with them. Okay, and then I've still got room for wildcard there. Okay. Oh, I haven't. Okay, we'll start the new random section here. For any other random sporty romances. Okay. Okay, I think the romance shelf is looking better now that the bottom shelf actually has stuff on it. The problem is the fantasy slash random miscellaneous side is getting very full. So we're gonna have to reconfig still in a couple months anyway, but I feel so much better. I've like all morning been anxious to do this. Just all day really, until I've been able to play around with, oh, I'm stuck in my ring. Be able to play around with my bookshelves, do an unhaul, put all my newly hauled books on. Everything feels fresh, feels better. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.